Hi, I'm Joey. Once again, welcome to the Quarantine Cook. Tonight, I'm cooking my mother's Mexican casserole. It's a simple, easy dish that anybody can do. For this dish, you're going to need tomato soup, milk, salt and pepper. I'm using a little bit of adobo Mexican spice too. Fresh onion, jalapeno, and garlic. Some refried beans to go on the side, salsa to top it off with, and then a taco seasoning mix, and corn tortillas, and of course ground beef. I'm going to dice up my onions as thin as I can get them, without being too thin. And a nice little trick that Mom taught me: if cutting the onions gets to you and you start crying and get all emotional, go and you stick your head into the freezer for just a minute, and the cool air will keep you from crying. Okay, when you're cutting your jalapenos, make sure you get these seeds out, because those things can make it really, really hot. I mean, we like it spicy, right? But you don't want it too hot. Okay, so I have my onions, my jalapeno, and my garlic chopped up, as you can see. And the first thing we're going to do is saute these. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees. And I'm going to turn my burner on high, throw some olive oil in here. A couple ounces. Stir that around a little bit. And we're going to throw our veggies in here to saute. I'm going to do that for about 5 minutes, and then I am going to add my ground beef to that. So we sauteed our veggies for just a few minutes, about 2 to 5 minutes, so you get them nice and brown. And now we're going to add the ground beef to this. Fresh ground beef from Whole Foods. While my ground beef is finishing up, or that would be minced to my people on the other side of the world, you know who you are, we're going to get our tomato soup and milk mixture together. We're going to have approximately 2.5 cups of soup. And we're going to put that in with 1 cup of milk. We're just going to pour that in there. You're going to take your taco seasoning mix, rip the packet open, like so, toss it in there, and take whatever your tool of choice is. I'm going to use a whisk. I'm going to whisk that together. I'm just going to toss in a touch of adobo Mexican seasoning. Adds a nice little flavor, and some salt. And there you go, just a dash of salt. And just stir that, and now I'm just waiting for my ground beef to finish. We're going to drain the ground beef mixture, get the grease out of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to start this. I'm going to have some refried beans with this on the side. They go really well with this casserole. This is Amy's brand. I got this at Whole Foods. And it's a pop-off too. Okay, while our refried beans are cooking, I've got that on a low to medium heat. We're going to use this can so that I can drain my grease out of my ground beef. Okay, so I'm just going to drain this right into this can, and then we'll let it cool off a bit. And then I can just throw it away. Alright, that's good. Actually, I'm going to take I'm going to take my ground beef, and I'm just going to kind of fold it into my bowl, just like that. Kind of fold it in so that it's covered by all the sauce, so you get all that yumminess. Now, okay, we're waiting for the refried beans to cook up. They're just heating up. I'm gonna ladle in some of my sauce to the bottom of my baking dish. And you just want a thin layer on the bottom. Just to kind of cover the bottom a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to take our corn tortillas, organic, gluten-free by the way. This is actually a pretty much gluten-free meal. If you have somebody that's gluten intolerant, this is a great one for them. Okay, so you take about 4 to 6 of your tortillas and you do it the old-fashioned way, just like my mom did. Rip it into quarters, and then you're going to take your pan. If you guys want to come over and see how I'm doing this, I'm just going to layer the tortillas on the bottom here. You know, make a crust basically out of it. Okay, get a couple more of these. Rip them up. And just like so. Now we're going to ladle some more ground beef mixture and sauce onto the top of the tortillas, like so. Just want to make sure you cover the whole thing. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Next, we're going to take a Mexican blend of cheeses. Now, I've listed the ones on my website for the cheeses that I have in this mixture. You're going to do a whole layer of these, cover it up real nicely, and then you're going to repeat what we just did. Tortillas, ground beef mixture, and cheese. And make your last layer of cheese really thick. That way when it bubbles up, it crisps up a little bit, and it's really, really a nice look to the casserole at the end. It's going to take about 45 minutes in the oven, and this will be done. Nice and full. Ah, this is going to be so delicious. I cannot wait. One more heaping layer of ground beef sauce. All right, sprinkle the last bit of cheese onto the top, make a nice layer here. And there we go. All right, that's perfect. Preheated. We're going to just throw the casserole in here, and it's going to cook for about 45 minutes, and we're ready to eat. Okay. Our timer just went off, so I'm going to turn the oven off, and I'm going to turn my beans off because they've been ready for a little while. They've just been simmering. And here's our finished product. So I'm just going to pull this out, and I'm going to set it up here for about 5 minutes, let it cool, because it's nice and bubbly. And we are going to serve the Mexican casserole with some tortilla chips and salsa and our refried beans that I have cooking on the stove here. We're ready to serve now. So get your sombreros on. I'm Joey, the Quarantine Cook, and we will see you next time.